fucking off here. I'm cutting you off in a minute here. You better rein back in, Tiger. No more points. Fucking
No,
points scoring
no,
over here.
but there was one about Section 111, so they were promised the new tickets would be coming out, and the delay was because of the different. They needed to be different colour season tickets.
What?
So now we'll find.
Wait, hold on. No, just roll that one back there. They have to have different colour season tickets. This seems like This seems like. Is this Nazi Germany we're living in? Are they tell me, are they putting lovely little Stars of David on there to identify the Green Brigade?
They were told by all accounts, it was agreed by all parties that a different coloured season ticket would mean it would be easier for the stewards to identify who everybody was, so that only the respective personnel who should be in that area of the ground got in. But the delay in doing it, and what we're looking at now is there's no requirement for any more tifos because we're out of Europe. And now that statement today, and we all know who he was on about, is those folk. So that means now the paper tickets, there's no need for the people who don't want and won't be getting any more tickets, and the season tickets won't be getting out. So anybody that thinks, and remember, Tommy, this has been proven. I've had guys tell me about it who aren't in 111 about the people being banned. We look at the fracas over the Ajax issue with the supporters. There was a supporter last year mistakenly identified as being a culprit of an incident in Amsterdam, banned for a year. Then it was proven it was mistaken identity, and Celtic didn't bother with us, apologised or that, mate. The place is just a corrupt snake pit. And I'll say it live on air.
And hold on, before you do it, right, just to jump in very quickly, and just highlighting what it did to me, in case anybody doesn't know, but just to, I think about it, just for the sheer, utter pettiness of it. I mean, the lovely police officer, nothing, he's just doing his job, obviously. Someone puts a phone call in, but the reason given was, don't phone, you're clogging up the computer hard drive. I mean, not even having the cojones to phone up and just say, look, going to stop doing it, to have to get the police in, it just shows the mentality of it. I mean, I'm an approachable type of guy. Somebody comes to me. I mean, who was that who threatened me with the police a few years ago? Was that Darryl Broadfoot and somebody else? I've kept clear of the prick. I've never offended anybody by saying, oh, you're this or that, or calling them this or that. So, I mean, they could have just said, look, don't do it. We'd had to take it to the police. What's that all about? Why take that to the police? It's a joke, isn't it? Why? I mean, if they're doing that to just an idiot like me, who's in for a bit of fun and who's declaring it, I mean, and I'm just doing it for the fun, but look what they're doing to people who are, I mean, I'm 41, I couldn't give a shit. What do I do? If they take me to court, I'll be in my element sitting there talking to a judge, you know what I mean, saying fucking defending the rights of this and that, but when there are people who have got jobs and livelihoods and young people who are fucking sitting there, be shitting it for months on end. I mean, I'll be sitting there fucking like, I'm not giving it, fucking bring it on. But for people whose livelihoods are destroying and banning them, I mean, I'm not going to go to Celtic Park this year for the rest of the thing anyway, but people who have got a love for Celtic in their youth and they're wanting to go and they're denied that because of these bastards with their stupid, petty fucking games. And that's what it seems to me, bro. Do you think they're just playing these games for the sake here, or do you think they're that devious?
I think the problem is that the majority of the folk, and as I say, it's nothing personal. You know, if they walked in the room, I wouldn't spit them or anything like that. You know, it's the
shake their hands, mate. I shake their hands and show them decency, and then debate them and say, listen, you're destroying our club from the inside.
I think the club's been sanitised, and I think they're looking for the feel-good factor. They want a club. They want a crowd like Murrayfield. They want this family atmosphere. And Celtic's a team of house and schemes, whether it be Belfast, Glasgow, wherever you're from. It's usually a few middle-class scamps sneaked in as well. But it's just no good. We've got a chairman who doesn't know anything about the club. Chief executive picking up £1 million for vastly overpaid. Vastly overpaid.
Patronising and winning too few cups at a time when should be dropping away everything.
Well, actually, let's say 4 points, Tommy, right? And ending the chat, I mean, everybody knows something. I'm not going to kid on. I'm not a TLC here or whatever. But does anybody in the chat room. I mean, there was Graham Wilson was in the club shop yesterday and asked a young staff member, are you on a 0 hour contract? And the girl went, yeah, I am. It's only supervisors and above who are on contracts. And fair enough, I know there's other organisations that run like that, but they've not got a pitch, they've not got a statue or a Maris brother standing outside the stadium. And some smart arse tweeted Jock Stein earlier on, the great Jock Stein, God rest his soul, earlier saying, Jock Stein wouldn't have been involved with the politics and all that stuff. He didn't want it in football. And I went back and I said, you're correct. I said, because we had a board in the 60s that stood up for the club's Irish identity. And I said, and what would Jock Stein say, being the fantastic, staunch socialist that he was, working class man who worked down the mines, what would he say walking by saying, hello Mr. Steele, yeah, I'm on a 0 hour contract, and the guy that my fellow employee at the club, Peter Lovell works for us. We don't work for Peter Lovell. Peter Lovell must justify himself to us. We don't have to justify ourselves to Peter Lovell. That's the way I see it. So, if the brothers and the girls in 111 are told their services are no longer required at Celtic Park,
I think every Celtic fans at that point, I think it should be time for an all-out walkout or an all-out sit-in. An all-out sit-in or an all-out walk-in. Here's the thing then, hold on. Celtic fans, the hardcore, don't leave the ground. I mean, is that something that could be... I mean, people don't want to boycott the game, but everybody...
Oh, yes.
It's probably the wrong time of the year to do an all-in sitting into it. Fucking freeze our balls after.
It's just going to cause controversy and feed the media and get the police involved.
Don't listen. Hold on. It's about making a stance, right? The way forward is direct action, peaceful direct action. So it's either walk out or a sit-in, and it's... If you're boycotting the media, if you're backing the media out, like myself, bro, then it matters not a jot what they say. Let them deal in their own pish. If we're turning around the other side and saying, we've got all our stuff here, we've got all our news here, we're getting the truth out there without having to go near them.
Well, what I'll do is, my plan of attack is that there's obviously me, Army, and Toby and that, the lads have been going down to see Celtic Nation. I'll just go down there after a couple of weeks for the home games, mate. Go where I'm wanted. If in Celtic, I wish I was a cold-hearted person, but I wouldn't be able to go back to You'll Never Walk Alone. We're all there together, Matt Grind. We have been for 126 years standing together. When a Tory board tell me that my socialist comrades who sit below me are getting thrown out for portraying a picture of a registered member of the British Parliament, it's time to chuck it. We look at what would have happened if the Celtic Euro fan zone area had been in Nelson Mandela Place yesterday. A terrorist who became a politician. We look at the gentleman who was in jail with the great Nelson Mandela, a gentleman. I feel through my timeline you'll see him, he's quite a controversial character, and he's actually now on a FIFA panel. He's a FIFA representative. And this was a man who was charged with 11 accounts of trying to destroy the South African government. These are convicted people of doing, various hideous crimes who are respected people now in the community. Jerry Adams, Martin McGuinness,
So basically what you're saying, Parrot, is, God willing, in 10, 15 years' time, crackpots probably know me, you, and guys like Sniper, but even madder bastards are going to be sitting in control of Celtic. The young youth coming through, the young progeny coming through, the young crackpots, the young Tims who are getting a decent schooling now. Because if you're a young Tim out there and you're 19, 20, right, we've never had it so good to a degree, but everything has never been so drastic that our club has been stolen from in front of us while we're having such good times, right? If you think the last 2 years, jelly and ice cream, we've gorged on that to the death of the Mankey mob, and yeah, it's been brilliant, and yeah, we're dining in the Champions League, but that's blinded us to the simple facts that our club has been stolen by a bunch of brigands who are only in it for the shekels, for their money, for themselves, and they care not a jot for the ordinary person who's got a love and a passion for this club. So basically what you're saying, Parrot, is that in 10 years, 20 years' time, that some crackpot listening to us talking to now is going to have enough fire in his belly and he's going to be able to lead us bunch of crackpots and take back what's been rightfully stolen, that we're going to sit in the boardroom. Do you think it's possible that we can take back what's been stolen and crackpots can take the boardroom back?
I think obviously you were at the AGM and after the excellent Jeanette spoke, a gentleman got up and mentioned the names James Conley and Jim Larkin. You know, and that's the problem. As long and quite let's say younger folk who can educate themselves, and guys like Ho Chi Minh, Che Guevara, Castro, you know, the great late president of Venezuela, you know, anybody can pick up an iPad now or go to a library and get tuned in and get educated. My argument last year was the Celtic board are in a really bad position because everybody's got a certain look. They want a pair of Adidas, they want a decent coat, they want a pair of jeans, and they want some merchandise. They don't put any take a part of his seat ticket money. You know, I like my clothes, try and follow fashion when I can, and I see what Celtic's knocking out, and it's absolute rubbish, mate, you know, and nobody's buying it. But there are, you know, as you say, we look at we look at the sinister thing. Look at these in that family section, they'll put it where it is. It's because to curtail the size of people who wanted to sit beside the Green Brigade socialist element, you know, you've seen the other lads, everybody. I mean, the boys and lasses have got about 70 members, you know, but there's probably about 8,000 at that ground dress like them every week. You know, I mean, the good brother Graham taking a t-shirt and a...
Funny you should say that, because the bit where I was, I mean, there was wee boys, I was up in the 417 bit, and there's boys cutting about, and I'm like, if we're doing up here, you should be doing the fucking highway. You're dressed about like a Green Brigade urchin and you're fucking bouncing about up here. What's happening? And it's just... And it goes back to... I remember a story my wedding said that hang me. She was hitting out, oh, I'm going to get this and get that. And she even said she was going to get the wee fucking hat. I was like, look, get everything else, but if you cut about the hat, fucking, I'll rip it off you, mad. I'll start wearing it. And that's when I used to
remember
when I said, oh, I'm not getting something that I can fucking wear.
I remember I went to Larkin's first boot launch in the Adler and I walked down the stairs. I was myself, I grabbed this whole day that line and the boys Scotland sale on Twitter. Lovely guy, Party Marty. And he came up and said, all right, mate, you in the Green Brigade? I went, oh, God, yes. I said, I'm not anything like that. You know, I was most organisations like that when I was working. So, but I think that's the mindset, Tommy, is the fact that, and I really do think, and there's great guys like Jimmy who supported Celtic all these days, you know, and the unfortunate thing is that Jimmy's a tremendous fan, but I just wish Jimmy was 20-year-old because he'd probably have a bucket hat and he'd be up getting along to the troops.
What are you talking about? He'd be banging the drum. He'd be jumping there with his tap half in the middle of winter, banging his fucking fluffy bits about, swinging his dong. I
said to you last night, Tommy, that the greatest gift the PLC have got is you still have a mindset over a percentage of our support that think you cannot slag off Celtic, because slagging off Celtic is like slagging off the Catholic Church in Ireland in the 50s and 60s or 70s. You know, oh, don't you dare. And there's people, and I respect people, if people's got a very valid argument about why they like Peter Lawwell, I'll take it on board. But the people who just run their heads into a brick wall just to back the club up for self-indulgence and self-gratification to look better for the club's stake. And I've seen there's a couple of Twitter accounts who I've got muted. I don't see any of them. And I sort of somebody started following me and I went, what's your Twitter account that they all about? And I've seen the interaction that's going on, mate. So that's interesting times, T. But as I say, what I'll be doing is if it's one out all out for me, if the lads get booted out and they say that you're no longer welcome to Celtic Park.
Well, hold on, I'm out. So one's out. And there's one out here, so fucking here, Celtic out, get out. If one's out, I'm out, so everybody else fucking... So you have to wait for the Green Brigade. I think everybody else go... If the Green Brigade get punted out, mate, and they don't hang with it, do you think that enough Celtic fans... How many Celtic... Can I ask this question? Hold on. How many Celtic fans do you think will rally to the call?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to. I wouldn't like to take MD's vouch for them there. I know about a dozen to start with. Maybe a dozen. It's a dozen seats less for Peter. But what I would like to ask you, Tommy, is